But tell me a little bit about what was the hardest part of coming out in a South Asian household? Because that's a completely different thing. It's not just coming out, it's coming out in a pretty conservative family, right? Or relatively conservative family.
Yeah, great question. So this is something I'm still kind of trying to figure out how to navigate. So at this point, my parents already knew my sister was a lesbian, so I knew that telling them wasn't the issue. And in fact, I have a cousin who also knows about me. Um, I think for me, the thing that I've been struggling with the most is how, the thing that every Desi knows, log kya kahenge? What will the rest of our community say? How will they respond to it? Whether it's the family friends who have actually been a part of my life for as long as I can remember, or whether it's the relatives, not the extended family that we never see, but like the ones who've also been a part of my life since I was a kid. Because there have been moments where even they will say like the somewhat prejudiced, ignorant, mildly homophobic thing, because whether it's because they're actually prejudiced or because that's what other people have taught them to say, I don't know.
Yeah.
But yeah, as far as family's concerned, my aunts were definitely the my biggest coming out to them is something I'm still trying to figure out whether it's safe to do or not, because as they are loving people, I know them well enough to know that if they say something that sounds ignorant or prejudiced, it's not because that's what they genuinely believe. It's just because they live in a bubble. Even if they said before, I've heard them say distinctly that they think homosexuality is unnatural. I know for a fact that, again, it's just because they live in a bubble and they don't actually meet other people like that. And the optimist in me, the one who knows how much they love their niece, wants to believe that they will remember that they love their family more than they care about prejudices and biases.
Right. Thank you. And what about you? What was the hardest part of coming out in a South Asian household? I know that you had mentioned you had mentioned to me, when we last talked about not really coming out to everyone. So tell us a little bit about that.
So after I came out on Instagram last Halloween, my cousin immediately called me in the morning and helping me understand that, hey, if you want to call, you should really tell your parents this before everyone else tells them. And that was the first time I actually was concerned about coming out to my parents.
Mm-hmm.
Right now that idea has died. And I'm back to being like, do I really want to come out to them?
Mm-hmm.
Right now, I'm only coming out to people I'm comfortable coming out.
Okay,
So
that makes sense.
So it's peers, so it's like cousins and whatnot. I've even gotten positive reception from my nephew back in Bangladesh.
Oh wow. Okay.
Yeah, I'm like big wow. I'm like, oh wow, that's like it's extremely valuable for you to say that.
Yeah.
Other than that, because I come from New York City, I like a lot of my like classmates and stuff are very progressive, very leftist. So I have no problem, showing my face, like revealing that part of myself to them.
Okay. Did either of you have a fear of losing your family or community, or do you still have that? Like fear rather than just, where you say, whatever, but an actual fear, like, are you really afraid?
Not with regards to my queerness. With regards to the ethical non-monogamy, that one was a bit of it felt like, is this really like is this going to be a deal breaker for them or not? Because occasionally my mom will say like, oh, I don't agree with that or something. And then the way I accidentally scared my parents when I came out, I'm using my great grandmother as an example, and my dad pointed out she may not have consented to having two husbands. I know there's a part of me that wants to believe that, it's not enough to get me disowned, but it is, at least not right away, but it is going to get like a lot of like, I may not get everyone 100% on board with that right now.
Okay. What about you, Ayan?
I'm gonna slightly diverge before I answer that question. I once had a cousin who who had a much more traditional lifestyle than the other than I did. She grew up here and everything, but she was honestly the most like I don't want to say fobby, really don't. But she was very grounded in much more traditional beliefs. So she was helping me understand what I wanted in a partner and whatnot. And then I mentioned polyamory, and I don't know if her brain broke or she was having trouble coming to grips with the fact that people could have multiple partners. But like she went from I'm really trying, but I don't understand. It's more so I don't understand how this can be a thing.
Mhm.
And I'm like, that's fine. We'll leave it at that. You have a good day. And so that was one of the more interesting experiences. And my parents took the concept of polyamory, not me being polyamorous, the concept of polyamory pretty well compared to the cousin.
Okay.
So, but when it comes to coming out, like losing my family, I have danced with the idea. Like I ruminate I ruminate by default.
Mhm.
So that idea has bounced around many times, and I've gotten
Okay.
to the point where I'm so tired of the mind being just thinking about that over and over.
Yeah.
Without like involuntarily, that I'm like I don't care anymore. If they kick me out, they kick me out.
Right. What advice would you give someone who wants to come out but is scared? Yashada, we'll start with you, especially if someone is listening online right now.
To that person, I would say the best thing that I had was having my people whom I knew would have my back, whether I was straight or not, or whether I identified as straight or not. So, and I felt even happier, prouder, more myself after I found my poly and kinky community. So to them, I would say just as scary as it is, try to get yourself out there. I don't mean like date in terms of dating, but like look for that like-minded community. Look for the people that will support you. Look for the people that will always have your back, and the people who will be there will show up for you and be there for you the way you would want your own family to do so.
Yeah, no, that's very true. What about you, Ayan?
Exact same
Any
support.
words of advice?
Whether support groups, whether it's on Discord, whether it's on Telegram or whatever.
Yeah.
You want a tight knit community, preferably IRL, to be honest. So you want you want a tight knit community of someone who can give you supportive feedback, not like your uncles and aunties who are always criticizing every decision you make. You want the opposite of that. You want people to validate your experience. You want people to help you feel good with the I don't want to say life choices. It's more so with the identity you chose.
Yeah. That's awesome. What advice would you give to your parents or your family members?
So, with regards to like,
yeah. So in regards to let's say someone's child comes out today, what should the parents do?
Number one, listen to everything they say. Listen without judging or feeling like you have to fix anything, because especially with Desi moms, that's still a hassle. Like whether it's coming out to them or not, just the struggle is being without like they have to fix a problem. Right. Secondly, do your own homework, because whatever your kid comes out to you as, all these things that we have been taught to judge and perceive as wrong, that is not because they actually are wrong. That is just what has been forced on us by centuries of colonialism. So please do. I know you don't want to the parents. I know you don't want to put in the effort to learn more, educate yourselves more at this age, but please do so. Please take a little bit of time to try to unlearn all of the things that have been forced on us.
Yeah.
And because at the end of the day, same with my family, whatever your prejudices and your biases are, your love for your family matters far more than any of that, or matters more than what your community will say. Because if they are going to judge you for that, then they're not your community.
That's very true. Ayan? Anything?
Absolutely. Very much what Yashada said. Definitely listen without judgment. Learn to be emotionally available when for your kids, for your partner, for yourself. Oh my God, I am so astounded at how the concept of meditation comes from our culture.
Yeah.
And we're just the worst at mental health and emotional well-being.
Yeah.
Yeah. So also get some self-care done. Like understand what the 7 types of rest work for you. You don't have to rest like everybody else, but you have to rest.
That is very true. What advice would you like to give to the South Asian community about queerness?
Much the same about the advice I would give to families whose kids are coming out, that this again, this is not wrong. This is just something that we have been taught to believe is wrong. So please do the work to learn what is right, and learn what was the case before we were taught this was wrong. Try to unlearn your biases as much as you can, and throughout this whole process, the most important thing is to be patient. Be as patient with yourself as you're trying to learn and unlearn, and be patient with your queer child or queer loved one.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, and definitely, like, even if it takes you a lifetime to unlearn everything, even if you never come to unlearn that, just more importantly, be kind. Because even if you think that being queer is wrong, that doesn't give you the right to hate a person for that. Just be kind to them, love them. It doesn't take that much effort to do so. So please just keep that in mind.
That's so important. I love that you said about kindness, because a lot of times, even if you can't process anything, just being there and being kind is, I'm sure it makes a child feel that they're important, right? And they mean something to the parent. So yeah. What about you, Ayan? What advice would you give to the South Asian community about understanding queerness, whether it is breaking stereotypes or
it's a lot of unlearning. Again, this is another crazy thing that I've learned from Yashada and plenty of others. Queerness was in our culture. It was just yoinked out by the lovely folks over at the British Isles. It's a thing that we have to unlearn together. It's a thing that we have to slowly understand as part of us. And as someone who is trying to get the youth of my community to stick together in such a way that we do not replicate the problems of our toxic parents, this is something I need to know how to A, learn, B, teach.
Yeah. So if you could go back to your younger self, Ayan, and say something or talk to your younger self, what is the message that you would give that you never heard?
Your confidence was taken away. I'm still not sure how to get it back, but understand that. Understand that a lot of the dreams that you wanted are still valid. Keep chasing them. And back then I had no idea I was queer. So
Yeah.
I didn't even play with the idea.
Right. Yashada, what about you?
Well, going back to how my journey of coming out as queer and neurodiverse are very much tied together. A lot of it comes down to like how much I let myself believe was okay, this isn't true. I don't have to think about it now, or this isn't real, or so I guess gaslighting myself. For a lot of it was like self-denial or gaslighting myself. So what the one thing I would tell myself is to be more confident in your opinions, because there is a chance that the people around you, that even your own family, is wrong. And that's not whatever they say to you that hurts or is negative, or them telling you they're wrong, and you feel in your gut otherwise, that is not because they don't love you. They do, and they want what's best for you, but they're also speaking from a different time and place, and you are growing up in a world that is far different than they did, and it's a world that they don't know any more than you do. So have more faith and confidence in yourself.
Yeah, no, that's powerful. But it's so much easier said than done. How can friends in the South Asian community show up better for someone who is coming out?
Oh, this is a great one. Okay. This, I would also say it takes a bit of like patience and kindness and recognition, because I would say the people, especially amongst my own community of friends, including Ayan, the best and closest friends that I've had, or the best relationships that I've had, are with the people who were a bit more willing to, I wouldn't say question things, because, speaking up isn't exactly the easiest thing to do, but we're always a little bit more rebellious from the start. Like, they were always kind of more open and willing to kind of be themselves, damn the consequences. And I understand that, it's not the easiest thing to like just be yourself, especially with so much pressure to behave and act a certain way and to conform. So I would say the best way you can show up for someone else is to be a little selfish and see how you can show up for yourself. You have to be brave to be the ally that your loved one needs. You have to be, and in order to be brave, you have to be brave for yourself. You have to find it in yourself to question things. You have to find it in yourself to like stand up to your own family. You have to find it in yourself to say, I don't agree with all the things you've been telling me. Because this person whom I love is far more important to me than what you think is, whatever false illusion you have about this being wrong. So it's much the same. I would say just like you have to find it in yourself to be a little courageous, and as long as it takes, I don't know how long it'll take you, but I'm sure that however long it takes, your queer loved one will love you even more in the long run for taking the time and energy to do so.
Yeah, no, that's beautiful. How can parents, and this question is for you, how can parents respond in a supportive way, even if they don't understand everything? Like, what is the bare minimum that you would like parents to offer their child? I know that, Yashada, you mentioned kindness being one, which is extremely important, but what else?
Your loved one is being vulnerable to you right now, and the last thing they need is you chopping their words up. So let them speak, let them finish, be patient, and as Yashada said, be kind.
Yeah. how can the South Asian community itself be more supportive of queer members? And I want this question, I want an answer from both of you about this.
I'll go first. Okay, this is something I love that I can give a great answer now because I've had a lot more experience with this recently. One thing that I'm realizing is part of the toxicity in South Asian communities is prioritizing the well-being of the family unit over individual happiness and safety. I hate to be too technical here, but if you think of the family unit as a machine only runs as long as the individual parts are good quality, clear working order, and are being very well maintained and taken care of. But if one piece, even the smallest piece, is broken, the whole machine stops working. Same with the family unit. You can have a whole family living together. My dad's family, for instance, they all live in one neighborhood. You can have them all living together, but if they're all not fond of each other, or they hate each other, there's no point in having everyone so close to home because that just makes the family worse. So, same with regards to having a queer family member. That family member is not poisoning your family by being queer. You are the homophobic family members are poisoning the whole family with their homophobia. And the only cure or solution to that is to, as we were saying, to learn and unlearn, and being patient, and above all, being kind and loving, because that goes a long way. Like I was saying earlier, you can spend a lifetime being ignorant of the important of like how much colonialism tried to wipe out homosexuality. That is fine, as long as you are kind and loving and you don't try to force your hatred and your prejudice on other people. That's the bare minimum. And if you want to talk about keeping the family together and showing up for each other, that is literally all you need to do.
What does a healthy support system look like for someone?
Of course, zero judgment. Like I said right just ago, you don't say a word, you just listen. This is something I'm practicing myself, actually. I'm trying to listen better. I'm trying not to. I'm not trying to immediately give solutions. I have plenty of friends that do that still, even at a ripe old age of 33. I don't offer solutions. I am picking at their ideas in order to help both of us understand what's really going on, to understand specific details in order to be able to listen better, understand better. You are not there to bounce back counterpoints. You are there to listen. And as someone who was probably listening to someone who wants to come out, your job is to be an ally, not a critic.
What would a healthy support system look like for someone who is just exploring their identity?
So, as someone who who has gone through this recently, when I was first coming out to myself, and way before I'd even met my people, before I met Ayan, the best thing I can say is the thing that made it safer and easier for me to come out at all was the fact that I've always had friends who were accepting of LGBTQ plus people, and who were I can't say they were neurodivergent, but at the very least, they had those traits of like being open to talking about anything and being oversharers and being like very, very comfortable talking about NSFW topics.
Oversharing might be a neurodivergent trait.
So, and like being aware of these things also is definitely normal, because not many people are comfortable admitting that. But yeah. The point is, when I first came out, I didn't have as many queer friends because I just moved. So I just moved to a new place. So I was still trying to find my own community. But the friends that I had made, I am so grateful to them because even though they were all straight, they were all very comfortable and accepting, and they were just very super supportive with me, like trying to figure things out slowly. They helped me celebrate my first coming out anniversary when I myself didn't even do anything different besides buy black lipstick. And when I first got on dating apps, and before my closest friend had moved to the area, these were the people who I would say, okay, I'm going on a date. Please, if I need to get out of it, this is the safe word I'm going to use. So I would say it's okay. While you're still figuring things out, it is okay if the people around you are not as queer or poly or kinky or anything like that. As long as they know who you are, they love you and accept you, and they are comfortable having these conversations that you are afraid to talk about, then you will be fine. They will get you to where you need to be, and they will support you as you try to figure stuff out, as you're being super raw and vulnerable with yourself, trying to be who you know you can be.
Right. Ayan, I'm going to ask you this question. What has queerness taught you about self-love? I want like a more introspective reflection.
That I need to do more of it. That I need to know what self-love is. That even if this world is against me, if I could love the self, I will still become as dangerous as I want to be.
Right. That's a topic that I would love to talk about another time, but self-love is about self-acceptance. And that's very important, right? So something to think about. What has queerness taught you about self-love, Yashada?
So after I first came out to myself, the first thing was, I like girls, and just accepting that. I feel like this led me to kind of slowly and consciously and unconsciously kind of embrace, rediscovering and embracing all the things about myself I tried to hide and deny before. This, I think, goes back to what I was saying about if I could give a message to my younger self to be more confident in myself and my own beliefs, or what I think is right. Because there were things that I questioned, or that I had like an inkling of suspicion about, but I didn't think to go too deep into whether this was right or wrong, because everyone else told me it was wrong or don't worry about it. So after I came out to myself, and I just kind of started rediscovering all of these other things about myself that I didn't think too hard about before, I embraced them. Like my androgyny, for instance. I didn't consider myself androgynous, but I didn't fully pursue either, like my interest in neckties and masculine clothing. And then rediscovering my love and my joy for that. It just kind of made me a happier person, made me love myself more. So I would say that coming out as queer to myself taught me to love and accept myself more, and also to have more faith and confidence in myself that I may be a little more right than the people around me.
Yeah.
Or that whatever I think is not wrong, and that I don't need to keep telling myself that, oh, are you sure this is right? Because there's a chance you're right.
Right. Yeah. What would you tell someone listening right now to this podcast who's scared, confused, or feeling alone?
Whoever's listening to this podcast, first of all, I want you to know, however you identify, I love you and I accept you. And whatever you're feeling right now, just be patient and kind to yourself. Give yourself as much grace as you need until you feel ready to be more vocal with yourself and with your loved ones. And however terrified you're feeling right now, I promise you, once you be more vocal, you get yourself out there, you're more open and honest with yourself and your loved ones, you'll be a hell of a lot happier than you ever thought you could be.
Yeah, very true. What about you, Ayan? Would you like to add something to that?
Take a deep breath. Sorry. get antiquate, get familiar with people who will love you for who you are. You are valid. You just want to be around people who can reinforce that validation. Learn to love yourself, and everything will get better. You'll make it better.
That was beautiful. Thank you so much, Ayan and Yashada. I really appreciate your time. But more than that, I hope that this podcast and all your personal experiences that you have shared with us gives hope to the South Asian queer community, but the queer community in general, or anyone who's struggling with that side of them, where they don't quite know who they are or where they belong. But your message of taking a deep breath, and Yashada, you saying, I love you, I hope it touches, even if it touches one person. I think this time that we have spent together to share your experiences, both of your experiences, helps even one person to feel like they have a community who is out there, who will support them and provide answers if they have questions. I think that'll be the best thing in the world. So thank you again for your time. I will share your information, your Insta profile, so in case someone wants to reach you, either to talk to you, share their story, get advice,